Morning, it's May 26th, and we're reading the Maxwell Daily Reader book, and I thought, why not just share it with folks who don't have access to the book? There's a link below this video if you want to buy it, but I'm reading it, so why not share it? Man, it's just a real quick one-pager each day, but today John Maxwell talks about managing your attitude, and John says this: I grew up in a small town, rural Ohio, and there were plenty of farms nearby. I once heard a farmer say that the hardest thing about cows is that they never stay milked. A similar thing can be said about a good attitude. The hardest thing about having a good attitude is that it doesn't stay that way on its own. If you're like most people, just getting to work in the morning is a test of your attitude. I live in the Atlanta area, which is notorious for its bad traffic. The latest report I read stated that we had the fourth worst traffic in the nation behind Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. So every time I get in my car, I remind myself, today I'm going to have a great attitude. That doesn't mean that I always succeed. I have to remain sensitive to my personal attitude indicators. If I notice myself getting impatient, which is by far my greatest attitude challenge, I try to remind myself to have a good attitude. If I hear myself making cynical remarks, I check my attitude. If I find myself wanting to throw in the towel and stop developing people because they're not catching on quickly enough, I make an attitude correction. And my fail-safe attitude indicator is Margaret, my wife. If it's starting to get out of line, she tells me. In my book, Today Matters, one of the concepts I write about is that most people overrate decision making and they underrate decision managing. It's pretty easy to say to yourself, from now on, I'm going to have a great attitude. It's much harder to actually follow through with it. That's why I believe one of the best things you can do for yourself is make the daily management of your attitude one of your objectives. And that's from his book, The Difference Maker. And he finishes with this: manage your attitude today. I hope you have an awesome Sunday. Keep changing the world.